And I'm Sam, and
we're Avian Allies.
The problem of bird deaths caused by window collisions is huge. As you can see from this graph, bird deaths due to window collisions are by far the number one killer of birds, killing almost 1 billion birds every year. Our stadium clock reveals minute-by-minute deaths. During our presentation, almost 10,000 birds will die. Bird window collisions happens for 2 reasons: transparency and reflectivity. Transparency means the bird doesn't see the glass and thinks it can fly through it, and reflectivity means the bird sees the outside habitat reflected on the window and it thinks it can fly into it.
To narrow our focus, we chose the specific bird collision problem at the U.S. Bank Stadium. We did this for 3 main reasons. First, because it's local. Second, because the stadium's design involves almost 4 acres of glass. A structure with this much glass is a huge problem for bird collisions for the reasons Sam just discussed. Third, the stadium is located only a few blocks from the Mississippi River, which is the center of a massive funnel of migration called the Mississippi Flyway. It is represented in blue on this first picture. Each spring and fall, millions of birds use this main North American migration route. Most Minnesotans never see these huge swarms of beautiful birds because they have to migrate at night. As they pass through the state, they positively affect the economy and ecology by pollinating plants, dispersing seeds, and eating insects. The picture on the lower right shows just how close the stadium is to the river and the flyway.
In developing our solution, we made some assumptions about the stadium. First, that the Minneapolis Sports Facility Authority Board will prefer that the solution had little to no effect on the looks of the stadium. And second, that replacing the glass on the stadium was not an option because it would cost too much money. Our team brainstormed many potential solutions, including the use of sound, infrared lighting, predators, UV, motion, flexible glass, and magnetism. We also analyzed the existing products on the market and charted our options here.
Our solution to the bird collision problem at the stadium is called Avian Allies Film. It is a nearly transparent tape-like film that is applied to windows. While nearly undetectable to humans, a patterned UV treatment makes the window visible to birds. This works because, as you can see from this graph, birds can see a broader spectrum of color than we humans do. They can see ultraviolet. Our solution does not require glass replacement, so it can be used on existing structures like the stadium without detracting from its looks. Additionally, we think our film would have 2 major advantages to the current products. First, because the nature of the UV film would adjust the specifications of the glass, our film could be applied to the inside of windows. This would make it easy to apply, reduce installation costs, and eliminate any weathering issues in harsh climates like Minnesota. Second, Avian Allies film would be able to deliver an advertising slogan or team spirit message when a UV spotlight is shined on it. This second feature would make the product cheaper by having an advertiser pay some of the cost of the product. Companies like 3M currently make window films for other products, so manufacturing ours seems very possible. By comparing many similar products, we have estimated the final price to be $3 per square foot before any savings from advertisers. From film industry websites, we determined that installation will cost between $4 and $6 per square foot. Our solution is not perfect for all the glass in the stadium. In certain high reflectivity areas, other alternatives like etching or exterior film might be considered. However, we believe our film solution could play a big role in bird safety for the U.S. Bank Stadium and similar structures.
We want to give a special thank you to the founders of Minnesota Citizens for the Protection of Migratory Birds, the Audubon Society, and Dr. Elise Moore, a scientist at the University of Florida. We met with them to gather information and to present our findings. We also toured 3M's newest laboratory and met with 2 3M PhDs with expertise in birds and film technology. Finally, we presented our solution to the decision makers for the U.S. Bank Stadium, the Minneapolis Sports Facility Authority Board, and the Vikings. It was a thrill to present at the stadium. There was even a story about our solution in the Star Tribune newspaper, which also helped to raise awareness for the issue. Our recent activities have included meeting with a patent attorney, further discussions with 3M, and contacting other potential manufacturers. Thank you for your attention today. Do you have any questions?
Yep.
Okay, so your ideas on bird safety. So who did you contact? Who was
sources?
Well, mainly, do you mean where do we get our information?
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
We got a lot of it from online sources like flap.com and the Audubon Society, but then we also got some information from the Minnesota Protection of Migratory Birds.
Minnesota citizens.
Minnesota Citizens for the Protection of Migratory Birds, and we met with some people that are in that organization, and they give us a lot of information about the U.S. Bank Stadium.
Did you do any unique research on your own to determine, like, testing facilities, or not necessarily like U.S. Bank, but kind of seeing personal impacts of this?
Yes, we
Or
have.
surveys?
At our coach's house, there's a window in his office where there's plants behind the window. So we put UV on one of the windows, and then not on the other windows, and we saw if like the birds would fly in, which ones they would fly into, and there was no birds that flew into the one with UV, but there were some birds that flew into the one without UV. So we have done testing on the area.
And we do plan to, we figured that we've just been able to put the UV film on my dad's work. It's Penrad Technologies office building. It's in a marshy area, and it's got multiple windows. And we were thinking about testing it there. We will do it sometime, soon.
Do you have any, are you starting to collect data on the test sites that you're doing? Like how many have hit on the window, either before you put on the film or hit on the non-filmed windows?
We did do this study at the beginning of the fall, so birds were migrating. So over the winter, we didn't really want to really organize that data because it might not be as accurate because there won't be as many birds in the winter as there would be in like the spring and summer. So we're going to continue this study either on other buildings or on just a window in our house and see that when there are more birds here, like how much that will help.
And then did you do any more presentation to any other companies or anything else besides the people that you mentioned in your skit and in your book?
So as we mentioned, we said that we've talked to other manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
That's specifically Kaleidoscape. They're a manufacturer that makes film and window collision stuff like that. And I don't think we didn't mention that name exactly. Let's see. I think we've mentioned everybody that we've talked to in our presentation other than them.
We have presented our robot to a Cub Scout pack quite a while ago.
So is the film going to be manufactured by Kaleidoscape or by 3M?
Yeah, go ahead. We think it would be manufactured by Kaleidoscape because 3M, they kind of have their own thing. Like you can't just walk into 3M and say, I have an idea, are you going to buy it? Because like they already have so much, and if a law gets passed that they have to put bird-safe windows up for buildings, we think that 3M is doing some planning for that. So that's why they're not really open to telling us a lot about bird collisions because they don't want us to know their ideas and plans for the future.
So the $3 per square foot, is that a price from Kaleidoscape?
I think,
No, it is not. It is based on averages from like this graph and other products on the market. We've taken an average of what products like this would cost, including like UV paint, and then we've included installation, correctly?
not in the $3.
Oh, not in the $3 cost. So we've just pretty much taken an average from all the products on the market and seen if that was like a good amount, and then it was. So it was accurate.
So the film that is on the coach's window, where is that manufactured?
It's not manufactured. We made it. So it's not a film right now.
Okay.
It's paint on the window.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like Alex's demonstration here.
Yeah.
So
or film?
We're planning on putting a film on there just to make sure the film works the same as the paint, which it should because it's basically just a clear film. But yeah, we're probably gonna do a film.
And is this building a place that has bird hits already that's known?
Yes, my dad works there, so his coworkers are always seeing birds running into the windows, and yeah.
What have you changed since your last tournament? What's the big things?
So we talked to 3M further, and the big thing is we've worked with a patent attorney to see what is possible with patenting our idea and other things that need to be considered. We've talked to the Audubon Society about other structures where this could possibly be used, and again we talked to Kaleidoscape about manufacturing as well.
So I know that there's some laws saying that new skyscrapers being built with glass fronts have to have bird protection. What are those buildings doing today?
I think most of them are doing something like etching, which is famously known for on the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And the reason why the US Bank Stadium was different is because it was already built before they passed that law. They already had the plan to be smooth glass, and etching and that kind of glass has to be installed differently, so they would have to take all the glass off and then put it back on, which would be really hard to do, so that's why they're not doing an etching.
And so that has to be done on the glass before it's installed?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then where did you learn about that piece of it? Who did you talk to? Or
We talked to the Audubon Society.
the Audubon Society?
Yeah.